Hello and welcome to Traditional Stitches FlossTube video number 38. I'm Janice Spencer, the owner of Traditional Stitches, and with me today is Rose Heck, our Stitch Along leader. Hi Rose.
Hey Janice.
How are you today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good, thanks.
Good.
Yeah, we got a beautiful sunny day here in Calgary, although holy are the leaves changing fast.
Yeah, it's partially the drought. We haven't had a lot of rain this year, so things are turning really quickly. Harvesting is going on like full force. So
I'd say that this is my favorite time of year. I just really love it when the nights get cooler and the colors start to change and the yard work is almost wrapped up.
yes. Mornings going out for a walk with Lucy have been really nice, but some mornings are cool that the walk is very brisk. So, but I don't complain. I'm not complaining because I know what's coming around the corner.
Yes, life in Alberta.
Yes, exactly. So, oh well.
Yeah. Alrighty, so in this video, we're going to talk about our two Hands Across the Sea sampler stitch alongs that we've got going on. A little bit of a recap of the Needlework Marketplace that we talked about in our last video. Some updates about things that are going on in the shop. And I have some things to show you from the shop, including our hand-dyed linen parades. And then we're going to talk a little bit about plants too. So,
perfect.
All right, do you want to talk about our Lucy Barber sampler first?
Yes, and this time I made sure I put Lucy on top so that I don't pull out Hannah. So double check. Okay, so I will be pulling her out tonight. I have to double check here. We are on month 8.
Right.
Okay, let's show this chart. We are in this section here. Okay, so pretty well a mirror image of month 6. Okay, so without further ado, that is Lucy so far. So for some of you, I won't name names, are already finished.
Yeah.
And for some of us, we're still plodding along. I really do enjoy her. I like the linen, the wood smoke. I really like the color. I like the floss. It's, you know, when you look at the picture, you think, oh my goodness, that's really bright. But there are some darker colors that really temper the brighter colors. And I think that's sometimes what people, they will zero in on the brighter colors in a sampler and they go, oh no, I don't want to stitch it. It's too bright. And then they'll stitch it and go, oh, that's too bright. I've got to knock the colors down. But when you bring in those darker colors, they really temper it and calm it. And you got to remember, these are little girls. And, you know, you remember when you were a little girl, what did you pull out of the crayon box? The bright colors, the reds, the yellows, the oranges, the bright blues and greens. So, yeah. I'm a little 7-year-old girl in a older body. So really enjoying Lucy.
Oh, good. Mine is stitched and hanging on the wall in the shop, so I don't carry it back and forth for video filming, but we sure enjoy it being on the wall. And so maybe I'll see if I can get a photo of it to insert in the video. And also I have some photos from when we were making kits that show the whole color palette laid out, and just to show those.
Right. To show my spools in the floss away bags does not give you an idea of the colors. So it's kind of lost. But every time I come into the shop, I always take a peek at her in her finished glory. So I know not too long, mine will be there.
Yes. Yeah. Well, if we're in month 8 now, there's not very many months left of this particular stitch along.
Exactly.
So we do still have charts and supplies available. So if Lucy is something that you would like to join us on, it is a limited edition sampler and it is only available through our shop. So we watch our stock of those going down on a daily basis. And
and I have heard people all of a sudden like, oh, do you think I should buy Lucy now? You know, Yes, buy her, you know, even if you don't stitch her, to have her in your collection, you know, to read about. I don't know. That's the way my brain goes.
Well, and
So
we still get inquiries for Anne Morrison, which she's been out of print and long gone. So
yeah,
that-
yeah,
that's a lesson there.
yeah, exactly. Don't
Mhm.
sit on it. You will regret it.
Yeah. All right, so the next stitch along, Hands Across the Sea, that we want to talk about is Hannah Campbell. And this one is not exclusive to our shop, and it's not a limited edition, but Traditional Stitches is one of the sponsoring shops of the Facebook Stitch Along for the Hannah Campbell Sampler. So we always like to give it a talk, and you and I are both stitching it, so we get to share our progress.
Yes. Do you have your chart there? I have mine.
Yep.
I've got it right here.
Okay.
So just for that reminder and that tease, to me, this is one of the most gorgeous samplers I have ever seen. I had seen it quite a while back, and I thought, no, I've got to have that. If nothing else, I have to have it. So I am stitching it on 46 count, and I believe you are also, with the SWA 103. And then I have on order the SWA Surfing for the over one stitching.
So I'm just going to insert here a little bit of feedback on where we're at with silk thread for that. We did get a massive order from Access Commodities at the end of the day yesterday. So while we're here recording the video, the gals in the shop are going through it and handing some things out to orders, but it is definitely not all of the Swasserfine that we have on order with them that came in this shipment. So we're going to do our best to fill as many orders, and we always fill orders from oldest to newest when we're doing that too. So hopefully we've got something for everybody, but that's just as where it's at this point.
Yeah, and I'll probably pop in the next couple of weeks and pick up whatever you have. And yeah, but I mean, it doesn't stop me from stitching on her. I just, you know, for the most part, a lot of the colors in the over one I have, I think that dark gray color I have, but I have the SWA 103. So I just keep on going, and I'll backtrack when it comes in. So this is my progress thus far.
Cool. So the month number 4 of the stitch along would have started on September 1st. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so that's that bottom section with the tree there.
Right, exactly.
Okay. Cool.
So I really, this border is really different. I don't know really what you call it, but the back and forth switching of the colors, and then the kind of it's not a sawtooth border, but it has that zigzag. I really like it. And then the flowers, they're different. So it keeps your interest. So you don't get bored on it. Yeah,
this is a sampler that is unique in so many ways. So here is me not following the stitch along, okay?
Oh, good for you.
So you can see in here where I've skipped the section because I too am waiting on Swasserfine to do the cross stitch over one. I do just only have that gray color there. And I have been jumping around a little bit. And we were talking before we started filming the video. I'm having a struggle with this sampler, and I'm having to unpick quite a bit of what I'm stitching. So Rose and I were talking about why that might be. And I think that I maybe need to tweak my stitching nest a little bit. Right now, I don't have the chart in my line of vision. I have my frame is on my stand, and then I have the chart sitting on the couch to the side of me. And so I'm having to do lots of checking in that way, and I just don't think it's efficient. So I'm going to have to find a better way in my nest to prop that chart more up into my line of sight, I think.
Right, right. And depending on what you have for a stand setup, or if somebody works in a hoop or a Q-snap, it's going to be different for everybody. I'm working with a Millennium frame, and on the stand, the necessary stand, there is a little groove. And I bought a piece of beech wood from Michael's, 1/16 of an inch. And I think it's a 12 by 12 inch. And I slid it into the groove. And then I used clover clips to clip my chart onto that. And so it's in front of me. And that works really well for me. So I used to put it on my actual stitching, and that worked okay. Actually, it worked quite well. But
with these charts that you have to fold out like this to work off of your graph, that takes up a fairly large surface area too.
It does. It does.
So
with Hannah, she is not very large. So to put her on, there's not really any space. It takes half, and you're constantly struggling with bumping into the chart. We discussed a little bit, and you could color photocopy page by page and use that if you so want to.
Yeah, instead of the full-size book. So one thing that is kind of a nice little segue into something that I wanted to talk about is our newest upcoming hats exclusive sampler is going to get announced in a few weeks here. And we're going to do that exclusive a little bit differently, in that everybody is going to get mailed a physical copy of the chart. But once their payment is received for that, they're also going to get emailed a PDF that is just the graph itself. So no instructions, no history, anything like that, just the graph. And then people will be able to use it on their devices. And so that's probably maybe what I'm going to end up doing with Hannah Campbell, is just taking a little screenshot of the section that I'm working on and putting it on my iPad holder, and then working from that. I'm going to try that and report back and see if that helps with my counting problems.
I guess with us talking here, if everyone out there that is watching this, if you have ideas what you do, or if you have something that is set up with your stand or whatever, put it in the comments below, and I can find them, and I'll actually put them on the Facebook page. I'll share it and see if we can't get a conversation started about how people do some different things. Who knows? Maybe we'll find something that works, or if there is something out there that is specially made that you can add to your stand or your stitching nest, as you call it, which I like. I like that.
Yeah, it truly is a desk, because I gather all the things around me that I need, which oftentimes includes a glass of wine, which might be part of my counting problem. It's only ever one glass, so.
Okay. Well, maybe those times that I do multiple mistakes, maybe that's my problem too. I know we discussed this, and I said that, sometimes I'll hit 3 different things and mistake on all 3 different things, so I have to put my stitching away. And you went, oh, you mean you don't stitch? And I says, well, no, I'll pick up knitting or reading or, some other thing that I don't have to count as much. So
just to change your headspace a bit.
Exactly. Yeah. Clear it out.
Yeah, and sometimes you just kind of get in a rut that way, I think, too, no matter what project you're working on. So
yeah,
depending on what else is going on in life and distractions and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah. Anyways, maybe we should have a stitching conundrum section of every video.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll see what we can come up with.
I did read about somebody's conundrum yesterday, and she says, as I'm getting older, she says, I don't frog anymore. She says, I just fudge and move on. She says, I'm getting too old to, that time. And I went, good on you. It's like, okay, I need to do that too. So,
Yeah, it's only if you make a adjustment, you have to remember it counting forward from that adjustment. And that's where I usually regret having not made the fix, and it haunts me.
Yeah, there was one piece here just shortly, and I actually fudged it. I did not frog it out.
Mm,
Now, it was probably a standalone motif, and you can get away with that.
right.
And I was actually talking to Rob, and he said, it looks fine. What's your problem? Leave it. It's like, yeah, that's a good point. I think I will. But sometimes it's attached to something else and you can't.
Yeah.
So know when to rip out, know when to move on. So
All right. Next thing on our list is to talk about an overview of the Needlework Marketplace. That was the online trade show that happened at the end of August, and we saw lots of great designs. And if anybody wants to see what caught Rosa and my eye, watch our most recent video, which is number 37, where we do our top 5 list each of designs. And since we recorded that video, there have been more added to our website from Marketplace, including like Fox and Rabbit, Mojo Stitches, Stacy Nash is all up there. So if you haven't looked since then, go back and have a peek. Most of our Marketplace orders arrived yesterday. So the gals in the shop are also busy going through those and giving them out and getting ready to ship. So that's exciting. I thought it was really great market. I'm really excited about what I saw.
I agree with you. I know when it first started, and I think it was a kind of a COVID conundrum that it had to start, and it started slowly, and it's built up to, it's not at the needlework or the Nashville level, and it may not, but I think it was tremendous, and it gives you that extra outlet. So
the first couple of years were called Needlework Expo, and it was put on by a different organizer. And then this year it was Needlework Marketplace, and yeah, the quality of the designers and the quantity that were presented, I thought were really great. So we'll look forward to seeing if and how and what it looks like next year.
Yeah.
What else did I want to say about that? So we did pick up a couple new designers to us through the process, including, for example, Quaint Rose Needle Arts. We also picked up the Canadian Stitchery that does the wooden ornament frames. And that order hasn't arrived to us yet, but I am dying to get my hands on the one that is the cutout of the polar bear with the Northern Lights coloring through it.
Okay, yes, I know exactly which one you mean.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. And so I'm going to link to the Marketplace below here so everybody can have a look and see what it is that we're talking about.
Okay.
I was at Jeanette Douglas's a couple days ago picking up an order and dropping off an order, and she very much already has the Nashville Needlework Market on her mind, and that's the first weekend of March in 2024. So seems like a little ways away, but it's not so far away. So
not for designers, it isn't. They're probably working like 6 months ahead of a show at least.
Yeah.
And for someone like Jeanette, who also has retreats
and so much teaching.
Yes, and teaching there, she's always keeping ahead of the game. That's what I find amazing with designers, how much ahead they have to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
it takes some strategy, particularly these days. Like, for example, this upcoming Hands Across the Sea exclusive that we're launching in a few weeks, we already are receiving silk thread and fabric orders and everything for that. Even though we're not going to ship until in Christmas time, early 2024, we already have loads of silk thread on hand for that design, just to make sure that we've got it in time.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Yes.
Okay, so since we're talking about looking ahead and plans anyways, we are just into our 4th quarter of the financial year for Traditional Stitches, the 4th quarter of our 23rd year. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, that is. Hard to wrap your head around that. You're getting close to that 25th year.
I wonder what
Yes.
we're going to do for our 25th year.
Yeah,
I
right.
wonder if I'm starting to plan that already.
Well, being that designers and stuff take, 2 years ahead of things,
Yep, exactly. Okay, anyways, that's not what I want to talk
No,
about.
I know. And for those that are watching this, I have no idea. So I'm as in the dark as anybody else. So
So what I do want to talk about, though, is that year end is coming, and that includes our dreaded physical inventory. And yeah, it took us 3 full staff days to count every skein of thread and every inch of fabric. And so anyways, we're trying to anticipate that and doing some cleanup of the website and cleanup of our inventory, and working on that in advance. So us having to do that means that our customers get to benefit.
Yep.
So Diana, who works primarily on our website, has been adding products to our sale section. She has been adding fabric to our pre-cut section. And so what that usually is odd size cuts or discontinued fabrics, or sometimes it's overstock. Sometimes it's something that might have a flaw in the linen, and in which case that's noted in the listing. And you check out that section quite frequently.
I do. And now that you've told everyone else, it's going to be gone. I have bought so much linen on that because sometimes those odd sizes are the perfect size for something. Even with the flaw, if it's 3 or 4 inches, well, that's in your margins of framing. So not a big deal. So yeah, some good bargains there.
Yeah, and so when we do get a piece of fabric that is flawed, then we will cut it so that the flaw or the discoloration or whatever hopefully is off into your framing allowance anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But so those fabrics are all at least 15% off. And then the other section of the website that we work on is our limited edition, discontinued, or where we're not planning on restocking and that kind of things, that we're counting down our stock just to give everybody an opportunity to know that that's what's happening and order it if they want it. So I'll put those 3 links down below. So that's the sale section, that's the pre-cut fabric section, and that's the limited availability section that you want to be checking out. And Diana's going to be updating all of those sections several times a week between now and the end of November. Yeah.
And I know there's lots of good sales stuff, and I would advise everyone to be checking that daily because there's always things that are added on. So, there's lots of things that you never knew you needed until you find them and you get a good deal on them. So
yeah. So we're going to just work on some streamlining there. Other thing that I'm up to is some development stuff in the actual workings of the website. So it's been 7 or 8 years, I think, since we did a big revamp of the website, and so now it needs some updating and some tweaking, the desktop version versus the mobile version, to streamline both the customer experience but also our workflow in the shop. So if you see some minor changes to the way that we're gathering your information and processing your orders, it's all in the name of getting some efficiencies.
Good to know.
So then before we get to the showing off the stuff in the shop, which includes the hand-dyed linen parade, I did want to talk about the thing that is making my phone ring all the time right now, and that is the Mason linen, the brand new line of hand-dyed linens called Mason that are being made in Alaska. And Patty, who's the lady behind the linens, has a very specific business plan and rollout for this. And she's very familiar with the challenges that the shops have had with the supply chain over the last few years, particularly with the hand-dyed linen. And so she is trying to avoid getting into that same situation as the other hand dyers are. So she has chosen just a very small handful of shops that are going to be able to offer her linens. And fortunately, Traditional Stitches is one of those. So we're very, very excited about that.
Mhm.
And the social media has been talking about us being the source for those. So the linen is supposed to ship to us this week. And then as soon as it arrives, we'll be adding it to our website. But I don't know what we're getting. I told
Oh, yeah.
Patty, here's my budget. Send me the best things that you have in mostly 40 count linen and some 36 and some 46 count. So she's sending me her colors. She's sending me lots of limited edition cuts.
Okay.
And so I don't know what it is yet, but once we post it on our website, then everyone will know.
Good.
Yeah.
Very nice. That's exciting.
Yeah, so, yeah, I'm pretty excited. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
So I know Jean had some at her last event at the attic.
Yes.
And got like a great big box of linen. And by the end of her event, I think she had 3 pieces left. So,
Oh, really? Wow. Yeah.
so this might go like that. But
Yeah,
so we're
may.
not taking any advance orders or anything. And I don't know what we're getting. So just wait till it goes up on the website.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I was browsing through the shop looking for some things to share in the video, one thing I came across was some of the hand sewn bags that we had made by Crafty Cory. And so there's not very many left, but there were a couple that really appealed to me that I just wanted to share and show. So I'm going to put the link to these below on the website. And the one, if you like the style that I'm showing, you're looking in the drop-down menu for the one that says FlossTube video number 38 is what it's going to be. So this is the small size. This one has got a stitching theme for the
That's
fabric.
Teresa Kogut fabric.
Oh, is it?
Yes,
Yeah,
it
that
is.
doesn't surprise me at all.
Yep.
So this is the small bag. It's 11 inches by 8 inches with that lining fabric in there. So, and then the awesome little tassel. So this is a small one that I'm featuring.
Yep.
And then the medium one that I'm featuring has got this, which I think might have been my favorite print of all of the bags that we got from Cory in this shipment. And so this is a medium bag, 13 inches by 10 inches. And that's what it's lined with. So we have a couple of those.
Okay.
And then this big bag is just really pretty. So this is a fabric. Isn't that gorgeous?
It is. It's very retro, very 70s. I like it. That is nice.
So this is a large bag, 14 by 12.
Okay.
And these, so we've seen some bags lately that you could just fold in half and put into your stitching bag, but these ones are really nice and stabilized. So they've got some stiffness and some body and will be a little bit protective. So I just love these. We still have, there were 3 other items that Cory sent us. One was a thread bed. One was kind of a placemat, project mat. And then another one was a larger bag that had a handle, and our stock on those is really dwindling. So I didn't really want to show them off, but we do still have some. So
just in case you decide to nab 1 or 2. Or
yeah, what am I doing showing off my favorite ones?
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, so, okay, so hand-dyed linen print. So in the last couple of weeks, we have gotten 2 big shipments from Picture This Plus. And so when a big shipment comes in, the first thing that we do is we fill our oldest orders, and then we make stock available in the shop. But just because we received 2 orders doesn't mean that we've received it all. So these are still orders that we placed 14, 15 months ago that are getting to us now. So there's still lots to come. Like I think that they have 6 or 7 orders that they're working on for us to bring us up to current. So even though I say we received some large orders, it's not everything.
Okay.
So one thing that we did get that I'm really excited about is some 28 count linens. So this is 28 count doubloon. And then this is 28 count dwarf. And the reason why I'm interested in these linens in particular is because they're colors from the Rosewood Manor Quaker seasonal series. And so these fabrics are really hard to get. And now we've got stock that we can share with people. So like, for example, this is Autumn Quakers. And I'm probably about here on it. I should have pulled mine out to show it, but I didn't. It wasn't that organized. So this is the fabric that's called for that. And then the awesome Valdani thread packs for those specific designs for these fabrics. So anyways, we're going to keep carrying these and offering them because they just sell constantly. They're so popular, and the Valdani thread gives such a great effect on the 28 count linen. It comes on these balls that are 3 strands of cotton, and you use them exactly as they come off on the 28 count linen. Your other option would be to maybe go to a 40 count linen and just use a single strand if you prefer something finer, but we're happy to help you with that. So just let us know if that's how you want to go. And then some more, picture this plus. This is 32 count legacy. So really nice neutral, but sploochy. Really nice.
Technical term?
Yeah.
Sploochy.
Yeah. I make them up as I go along.
That's good. Not a problem.
And then Velt, we have it in 32 count and 36 count. So this has also been a really popular fabric color. This is 40 count Valor. Isn't that just the most beautiful dusty green?
It is.
Yeah, I just love that. And this is 40 count Heartland, which is another great neutral that when we have a stock of neutrals actually on hand, I want to tell everybody about them because it doesn't happen very often these days. And then the final fabric that I want to show is every once in a while we're getting a big shipment of R&R linens. Usually it's all the same color, but at least we're getting them, and it's in colors that we haven't seen for a long time. So this one is Ligonier. Let's see, Ligonier Latte in 40 count. So we haven't seen this for a while, so I wanted to show it off and let you know that we had it. A couple yards anyways.
Yes,
so
nice.
Those are the fabrics for this month, and so it's linked, the parade is linked in the description box below, and so you can just click directly there and see them all.
Good, good. Yeah, I know Picture This Plus has been a really tough one to get, because I know I've waited for a while for one color, which
you got it with your last package, I think. Hey?
Exactly, yes, and I've already used it, so
good. Awesome. Yep. And so we have orders in with all of the hand dyers, like we can perpetually have orders with Lakeside and Needle and Flax and Seraphim and Tabby Cat, and so they just kind of chug in when they come in, and we just deal with them then. So it's just a moving process. Alrighty, so the next section of our video is about plans. You want to talk a little bit about Sampler September?
Sure. I'm heavy into it, and yeah, I don't know how far I should take this. I have 6 whips that I'm actually working on, and I started a 7th, and I have an 8th one that I may or may not start. I get so caught up in one, it's like I don't want to put it away. So that's my problem. I'm a closet monogamous stitcher, but I don't know what you would call it, where you're polyonymous, I don't know. I don't know who I am. Even Rob has said, what are you working on now? He says, I don't recognize, how many do you, I mean, it's funny. It's like, I don't have near what people have. So we're good. So the one, I think it's fan favorite, which is not in here. Oh, it is still on scroll rods. So I can't show you, it's over there. So I guess I won't show Miss Marianne Bourne's unless
I can pause.
You can pause.
Yeah.
Okay. I will go get it. I'll be right back.
Okay.
I'm back. So so I'm 3/4 of the way through Miss Marianne Bourne's, and the bottom part is pretty well full coverage. It's all the grass and the animals, and So I haven't started her yet this month to work on, but I probably will.
Oh my God, Rose, that's amazing.
Isn't it? Even just like that, a standalone, I could call it done.
Yeah.
But no, we'll keep on going. It's
Mm.
I don't know whether I'll get it done by the end of the year, just with, you know, other stitch alongs commitments that I have. It may or may not be done. And I'm okay with that. At first I had it scheduled that I would get it done by, but we'll see. We'll see.
Mm.
So
Mm.
that's Miss Marianne. I'll just put her aside. This is actually a little free one. I think you guys are familiar with Swad Adi, Simone. She has a free one on her site called JWH Jans, and it's really almost a monochromatic, very neutral. And I think I started it because sometimes we always are attracted to red. And I thought, no, this one is really neutral. So I'll show it to you. I
Oh,
like it. It's very different. It's very Dutch, which is my heritage.
yeah.
And when I'm done it, I may just hem stitch it. I may not frame it. I haven't 100% decided, but I don't know. We'll see.
Lovely.
We'll see. We'll see what I have in my stash for frames. And that one is not a sampler September. I've got Hannah Lancaster, I've got Florence Mary Dickinson, and I've got a red sampler. And this is my second red sampler I've been working on. So I did finish one last month and I started a new one. And I know not everybody has this, but it's from the Letters from Europe, which I was fortunate to get a hold of. And I think I started this last week, and she's going to get put by the wayside because Miss Mary is, no, Lucy's coming out first. Lucy's a priority starting tonight until she is done her month 8, and then I'll do Miss Mary. So she probably won't come out for a bit. And I get teased by Rob. He keeps on saying, do you not know your ABCs yet? It's like, no, I'm still learning, but I'm always amazed at how many different styles of ABCs there are. And I think I really enjoy that. Although I'm at the point where I need a little bit of time away from her.
Okay.
It's time to move on. I think I've got my ABCs good now for a while. So I'll probably pull her out next month. So, and as far as anything else, I have a few more, but I won't get into that. So if anybody is curious, they can check my Instagram account or my not my Facebook, probably my Instagram account. So
Okay. All right. We'll tag that below as well. And so what's the history that you know about this Sampler September thing? Tell me just.
It started 6 years ago, I believe. And from what I understand, and I can be corrected, a gal by the name of Veronica, and her hashtag, not her hashtag, her IG page is at Senorita Stitches. She started the hashtag September Sampler Soiree. That is for the reproduction samplers. But there's also for original samplers, it's Sampler September. And she's also said there are derivatives of that. A lot of people are putting in hashtag Sampler September Soiree, hashtag Sampler September. I may have said that. There's about 4 different hashtags. And it's on the premise of stitching on these for a month, and it can be new starts, it can be whips, and they don't have to be finished, but share your whips and starts on the Instagram page for that month of September. So yeah, it's yeah, a lot of people have really joined in, and it's yeah, I mean, you can pick up an original Plum Street sampler and work on it for Sampler September and show her off, and yeah,
Just a fun thing to be a part of, hey?
It is a fun thing to be a part of. I don't even know if there's prizes at the end. Doesn't matter. You know, it doesn't matter to me. It's an excuse to stitch. Like, we need an excuse, but yeah. So.
Oh, good. And what else have you got going on in the next few weeks?
Camping. I've got gardening to do. I've got I've got a box I have to put together. Do you remember that one you've been asking me about, which I finally got the supplies. I found a upholsterer 2 blocks away, if you can believe that. So I picked up a piece of that. It's not Skirtex here, skirt liner, I think he called it. And I think I picked up a 12-inch piece for $2. And I just bought the mat board because you do need some sort of a cardboard. And I just couldn't get into the city until yesterday. So I picked that up. And, you know, and I think I'm stalling on it. I'm procrastinating because it's a little intimidating. So, yeah.
So what the design that Rose is talking about is Julia Puntiantici design that is it's a trunk that accompanied one of the porcelain half doll designs that Julia did a few years ago. It's called Elizabeth's Trunk. So you just have to promise to show it to us when you've got it finished.
I will. It's sitting upstairs here staring at me in the face. And I think next week, I don't know, somehow I think that you have to start fresh. I have a first aid course on Monday. Tuesday, I'm going to start things after my walk. I'm going to, you know, assemble things and start understanding and comprehending how to put this together. And I think that's the first task, is understanding how she wants it to. And I'm sure it's easier than what my mind has made it. So wish me luck.
Okay, we wish you luck and we want to see it.
Yes, definitely.
Good. Cool. All right. Well, in less than 2 weeks, we leave for England. We're going to the Hands Across the Sea event that is the Great British Sampler Weekend 2023. And so I can hardly wait for that. I've already started collecting my piles of things to pack and take with me. So, and we've got all our plans made and tickets are booked. And I just really am looking forward to an adventure with one of my favorite people to go on adventures with. So
good.
So we leave on the 26th and then we're gone for almost 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you know, when in Rome, you know, or in this case, when in UK.
Yeah. So we're going to try and do all the things and see all of the things, and then we'll just come home and be exhausted after that. But that's okay. That's what these things are about.
Yeah.
I did, in the last video, I had showed you the little sampler that I had stitched to make into a notebook from a chart that was given to the attendees ahead for the weekend. And so we spent some time this weekend sewing the books, and mine is not finished. It needs some tweaking and stuff, but I did just want to show it to you. So this is the sampler. And so it needs to be pressed, and I also think I'm going to do just kind of a top stitch around the outside of all of these pages just to tighten it up a little bit, make it a little bit snugger. But so, and that's the backing.
Nice.
And then I'm also going to stitch a panel for inside the front here that's just going to say Great British Sampler Weekend with the dates and my name on it, just to insert in there.
And then that's just a journal, just of, you're going to notate daily things happening.
Yep. And yeah, so it's just going to be my journal of the trip, and I'll leave space to put tickets or whatever else.
Yeah.
Just a memento.
Exactly. And if you have any photos that you can take and, you know, put in, or whatever you find. Yeah. Oh, that's good. Well, hopefully you fill it up.
Yeah, I think we definitely will. And so then we're back a few days before you and I are scheduled to film our next video for the next section of our stitch alongs. And so I'll be able to tell you all about it when I get back.
Exactly. Probably won't be anything else except finding out what you know, your trip was like, and that's fine with me.
Yeah. So anyways,
Cool.
that's exciting. Looking forward to it. And I'm looking forward to how many people that I know are attending that we know through the shop, and I know from previous events from all over the world. So there's a handful of Canadians going, some Australians, and so customers from everywhere.
Cool. Yeah, it will be an international retreat. That is for sure. So
Absolutely. So anyways,
good.
All right. Well, I promise to fill you in all about it the next time I see you.
Good. Thank you. I'd appreciate that.
All right. Okay. Have a good month, everybody. See you next time.
See you next time, everyone.